Hello, welcome to my channel, welcome to my podcast. Before we go any further, I think the most important thing to do is to figure out whether you're in the right place. So this is just a short episode to say who this channel is for, who this podcast is for, and who it isn't for. So if it's not for you, you can go elsewhere. And if it is for you, you know you're in the right place to carry on working through the episodes. So let's start with who this channel isn't for. I am not the person to follow if you're looking to find ways, or if you're still in the phase of life where you think making more money or getting more things or getting more partners, girlfriends, boyfriends is going to make you happy. If that's the phase of life you're in, there are loads of people you can follow. There are loads of other people online in the personal development space that can help you to do those things. I'm 43 at this point in time as I record this, and I've already been through all of those phases. I've already followed all of those people. I've already done all of those things. If you want to see more of my backstory, you can go to the beginning of the episodes on this podcast or YouTube channel. Episodes 1 and 2 give you the full background of where I came from that led me to where I am now, and how basically following that path just led me to depression and misery. And that's why I do what I do, and that's why this channel exists. So I'm not the person to follow if you want to find out how to be a millionaire or a billionaire, or how to build online courses, or how to grow all your followers on YouTube or social media. I'm also not the person who will tell you to jump in ice baths every day and do all kinds of tricks and hacks to move your life forward. As I say, if that's what you're looking for, there's plenty of people who can show you how to do all that stuff. But I am the person to follow if you've either tried all of those things or you haven't tried them, and you've figured out that none of that actually makes us happy. It doesn't get us to a place where we feel peaceful and content in our life, and that is actually what we're all searching for. I realised after decades of going down the other paths of the traditional personal development and self-help worlds, of trying to make more money and building businesses and doing all of those things, that I just wasn't peaceful and content inside. I had moments when I was happy, I had times when I was excited, but I was never ever peaceful and content, and that's what I was searching for. The hole missing deep inside me was that feeling of contentment, the feeling of peacefulness that I never had. So I am the person to follow if you're ready to look at all of the root causes of the problems in your life, to truly face yourself and figure out what's underneath all of the issues, and to treat those issues from their root rather than treating the symptoms, which is what all this other stuff does. I am the person if you're ready to strip everything back, to figure out everything that's been programmed into you since you were a kid, that's led to you to be a person you weren't meant to be, to strip all of that away and figure out who you're actually meant to be in this world and become that person, finding peacefulness and contentment along the way. And having done this for 5 years and coached people all around the world and helped people through my books and courses and all kinds of things, I can confidently tell you that this stuff is underneath everything else. So whatever it is you're trying to do in your life, this stuff is the foundation that will help you do it. So whether you want to start a new business, whether you want to switch from being employed to self-employed, whether you want to start a YouTube channel, whether you've got anger problems or anxiety problems, whether you've got relationship issues or weight issues or issues with your kids, or addictions of any type, you name the problem, I can show you how this work is underneath it. And if you're trying to do any of those things through any of these other processes and you keep getting stuck and you keep coming back to the same place and you keep finding things fail, this is the work that underpins why that happens. And by doing this work, it helps to solve everything else. If you show me the problems in your life, I can show you how this stuff is underneath it all and how this can help you to solve it from its root. And the reality is, with any work like this, it's difficult, it's not easy to do. And I have had my doubts along the way. I first started on this path 5 years ago, and there have been some really difficult times. But as with anything in life, the most important and valuable things we ever do are also usually the hardest. So I have had my doubts along the way, and I have transformed. When I look back to where I was 5 years ago and compare it to where I am now, it is night and day. The person I was back then is completely different in most important ways to who I am now. The way I feel peaceful and content, the way I'm able to deal with issues in my life on a daily basis, reduction in anxiety, dealing with anger issues, dealing with depression, transforming relationships, building a life that I truly want to have. It's done more than I ever could have dreamed it could have done at the start. It is literally, this work is literally why I am still here. Like, it's got me through my darkest days, So whether you're in that period of your life where you're suffering with depression or suicidal thoughts and you don't know how to get through, this work can help you get through that. But it also then helps to build the foundation on which you can build. And I'm at that phase now where I am building my future life, having done so much work to deal with all of the problems I was facing in the past. And the most relevant and recent example I can give you is I'm recording this video in January of 2024. We just got through Christmas, which is traditionally a very difficult period for everybody, and there's lots we can talk about in that. This idea that it's meant to be the happiest time of the year, when actually for most people, especially if you're having problems, it's going to be a place where you're going to get triggered a lot. There's going to be lots of old wounds that are triggered through dealing with family, dealing with friends, dealing with all of the stress, money issues. And I had a big Christmas day, dealing with my family, dealing with my partner's family. We hosted 11 people for Christmas dinner, and other people commented on just how I drifted through the day. I was chilled, I took everything in my stride, I was able to deal with everything without suppressing anything. And it was just, again, night and day from where I used to be. I didn't need to do any of it with alcohol. I used to get through so much of my life through leaning on alcohol, and a day like that day I would have had to get really drunk to get through it. I did all of it sober because that's been a big change in my life, and now I'm able to deal with those big stressful days and big stressful times in life through using this work without alcohol, without addictions, without leaning on those things. And really importantly though, I'm not claiming to have all the answers. I'm not claiming to have a perfect life. I very much don't. I am down in the dirt with you doing this work. I think this is just an ongoing thing. We've got so much shit from our past. Once you get into this stuff, we've got so much shit from our past to heal and to sort out in order to strip away all of the problems we're dealing with. And I'm still doing that on a daily, on a weekly, on a monthly basis. And what I do is I share with you what I've learned along the way. I share with you the problems I face. I share with you all of the lessons I've learned from all around the world, from therapists, from coaches, from great minds, from old 100-year-old books, from modern thought leaders. Everything I gather from all different places, I bring together in one place, and I explain it to people in a way that makes sense. That's, I think, my superpower. I'm able to just absorb all this information and explain it in a way that makes sense to most people. I've heard loads of people say along the way that a therapist or a coach can only take you as deep as they have gone in their own work, and I can guarantee you that I have gone to the gates of hell with this stuff. One of the first coaches I've worked with taught me that to really come through all of this stuff and to transform, we need to go into the gates of hell, and we need to face our own demons. And I have done that so much in the past 5 years that I am able to just share my experiences. This is not stuff I've learned from a textbook. I'm not a therapist who's been to university and learned the theory of things that I then pass on. I have literally been through this stuff. I am still going through it. I still have dark days, and this work helps me get through. That's what I do. That's how I can help you. I pass on what I have learned. As I say, if you want to hear more about the details of that, you can go back to the first episodes of my YouTube channel or podcast. I'll probably refresh those stories at some point. The starting chapters of my books that you can also get for free from being a part of my mailing list and community gives that full backstory, so you can see that there. And ultimately, one of the biggest lessons I've learned in all of this is that we can't flatten the ups and downs of life. That is not the point of this work. The waves of life are there for a reason. It's like nature. We need day and night. We need the seasons. Ups and downs are meant to be there. We're not meant to flatten them and get rid of them like loads of the personal development world wants you to do. We're there. This work helps you to learn how to surf those waves and to become an expert surfer, so that no matter what's going on in your life, you can handle it, you can deal with it. That's the point of this stuff. So if that sounds like what you're looking for, if that sounds like at this stage of your life, that's where you are, the best place to start is on the next episode of the YouTube channel or of the podcast, and to go from there. You will see all of the stuff I'm doing, free mailing list, free community. There will be paid courses that you can do with me. I'm trying to get this stuff out to as many people as I can for as low a cost as possible, but in a way that still makes sense and is effective, because something I've realised is that selling courses to people, online courses of this stuff, doesn't particularly work because it's too difficult for most people to do by themselves. You need guidance, you need accountability, you need someone to help guide you through all of the different phases. So if that's what you're interested in, if that's where you think you are, come and join me, and I'll see you on the next episode.